Okay, you want to know how far the contamination has spread? This week, Richard Dawkins was disinvited from a science conference, the Northeastern Conference on Science and Skepticism. Why? Because he had the temerity to retweet this parody of Big Red and Dawa Man.
Cause you are an Islamist and you are a feminist. We have so very much in common. I say Islamophobia, I say misogyny, I blame the Jewish media, and I blame the patriarchy.
Big Red, for those who don't remember, was this woman.
Thus minimizing their earning potential as their traditional marriages end. The assumption I'm reading fuckface rape culture is part of patriarchy. False rape accusations discredit rape victims, which reinforces rape culture, which is part of patriarchy. Because of superficial physical attributes is part of patriarchy. I don't know if you're noticing a theme. Patriarchy.
And I blame the patriarchy.
Yeah, you can get it.
And this was her response when someone raised the point that male suicide runs at about 10 times the rate of female suicide.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, because apparently men have been impressed with being men. Oh.
We make up
That's mental health issue. That's not a mental health issue. That's not a men's rights issue.
Have you checked
mental
out
health stigma.
Have you checked out CAMH? There are about 4 programs for women and maybe 1 for men. So go down to the gravesite. What's his name here?
Does somebody have a cup? It's not a men's rights issue, though. This is a mental health stigma issue combined with a...
And Dawa Man, well, what do you expect? And after Richard Dawkins was disinvited, of course, the feminists were wetting themselves with delight. Well done, Nexus, for taking a stand and dumping the toxic sludge that is Richard Dawkins. Your move, Centre for Inquiry. And Steve Novella was quite clear of why he was deplatforming Richard Dawkins here, because he said that this song here wasn't satire.
I say haram, I say problematic, you say everything's triggering, and you say everything's uncorrect.
But it was spitefulness and childishness hiding behind satire. Well, Steve, bullshit. Yes, Steve, satire always seems spiteful and childish when it's tipping your sacred cows. So, for instance, how do you think the Catholic Church would view this Tim Minchin song? Fuck the motherfucker and fuck you, motherfucker. If you think that motherfucker is sacred, if you cover another motherfucker who's a kiddie fucker, fuck you, you're no better than a motherfucking rapist. Well, Steve, is that spitefulness and childishness hiding behind satire? Or is that satire? Or is this something you would approve of? Well, you must approve of it because you chose to platform Tim Minchin on your show. But oh no, Richard Dawkins, who didn't write or perform the song, but merely tweeted about it, you had to deplatform him for retweeting a highly offensive video. Jesus Christ, dudes, what the hell happened to you? Hitchens would have put you fainting couch losers in your place. Yeah, Hitchens knew the score. He could smell the, I find that offensive, the thin-skinned by design, the outraged about everything progressive, regressive moron brigade a mile off, and he would have given you the only argument you deserve.
If someone tells me that I've hurt their feelings, I say, well, I'm still waiting to hear what your point is. Right. I'm very depressed how in this country you can be told, that's offensive, as if those two words constitute an argument or a comment. Not to me, they don't. And I'm not running for anything, so I don't have to pretend to like people when I don't.
Right. Yeah, Novella's the latest to the drink the social justice warrior Kool-Aid party. And periodically, I still get people saying, but why do you make so many videos on feminism and social justice warriors? This is why. Because it gets Nobel Prize winners fired. Because it hijacks stories like mankind landing its first ever probe on a comet with, but feminists found his shirt offensive. Because it gets world-renowned science authors deplatformed. And just before we get the wailing of 1,000 offended feminists saying, but feminism is just about men and women being equal. That's why it's called feminism. Let me just be absolutely clear about this. I'm not doing this because of what you call yourselves. I'm doing this because of what you've done. You know, a ways back, there was this guy called the Internet Aristocrat, now back as Mr. Metacore. And he could see this, that we created these monsters in universities.
It's related because academia, education, is corrupted and rotten to its core.
In this workshop, teachers Rosemary Colt and Diana Reeves demonstrate how they teach white privilege and social justice theory to 8-year-olds.
Welcome to Examining White Privilege and Building Foundations for Social Justice in the Elementary Classroom.
There are issues that have faced us for decades. I'm not going to deny it, but you've got issues about funding and about curriculum. All right, and I know that one of the popular bitching fits over the last 10 to 15 years has been theists and atheists arguing about Darwinism and creationism being taught side by side. I get it, guys. I get it. It's a heated debate. You're both passionate about it. But let me tell you something, to both of you. There is a much bigger fucking issue on the horizon. All right? The kids aren't even going to give a shit about creationism or Darwinism. All right? They're not going to have time to. They're going to be too busy, flagellating themselves because they're white or criticizing somebody else because they're white. The reason that you see CEDA accepting this ridiculous form.
Hi, my name is Paul Mabry and I'm the president of the Cross-Examination Debate Association.
Yeah! Clack, clack.
Or CEDA. I speak to you today on behalf of the Cross-Examination Debate Association Executive Council. Recently, CEDA celebrated the conclusion of the college policy debate season with the CEDA National Debate Tournament hosted at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana.
I be having dreams of chocolate-covered watermelons, fried with filled chicken like pinatas, with little picking sons and daughters standing up in them with big sticks of aluminum foil.
After 4 grueling days of competition, the team of Corey Johnson and Amina Ruffin from Towson University emerged victorious as the 2014 CEDA National Champions.
They say the nigga is always already queer. That's exactly the point. It means that the impact is that is an impact turn to the afraid that.
They defeated the team of Rasheed Campbell and George Lee Jr. from the University of Oklahoma.
Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben are standing in the corners of the room with the rifles pointed at the heads of the children. Don't shoot the children! I shout, don't shoot the children!
Instead of spending the month since the CEDA National Debate Tournament celebrating their victory and reflecting on their historic moment, they have been on the defensive. Stories have emerged attacking the champions from Towson and finalists from Oklahoma for their argumentative choices and style.
I say the black is the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots.
Coming to slay the nigger in the space stop coming to production. What she keeps saying, how do you produce? What is it? What are you producing? I said the idea of producing is a bad thing because you're essentially producing for white society. When I'm identify how the nigger does not produce anything for white society, hence the 1AC and doesn't produce any type of white scholarship as identification how you tear down those functioning things. So to make it clear for you that black man is a victim stuff.
We are saying that queer bodies are not able to survive, that it necessarily means that the body of the nigga is not able to survive. Now they say that the nigga can be oriented to no particular place in time, but it's still overdetermined by the narratives of the 1AC that foreclose the future for the nigga, which means that they are not even able to access the survival.
I didn't get police. Bitches were afraid to go to the fucking bathroom. Now Marriott creates a few different impacts for lynching. First is deconstructing of the utopian political imagination, which is
The reason that you see CEDA accepting this ridiculous form of nonsense shit is because they have convinced themselves that debate is a white thing, and that if you don't adhere to the white thing, that's good, because white people have privilege. So going in and attacking debate itself rather than tackling the subject you're talking about, that's like meta. That to them is just genius. They love it.
These attacks on Towson, Oklahoma, and others in our debate community are motivated by racism and fear. These attacks are reprehensible, despicable, and must not be tolerated. CEDA is unlike any other competitive forum. It uniquely enhances students' research.
Y'all say by taking restrictions off of wind and solar, that will impact colonialism, or better yet, impact warming and climate change.
Argumentation.
U.S. almost certainly become involved in U.S. trying to become government's response to these attacks may signal of displacement.
And advocacy skills.
I'm gonna paint a picture to show the deaf what it's like to listen.
I'm gonna speak these words. I'm gonna tell
He's the head of the largest debate association in the United States. That's right, CEDA, the Cross-Examination Debate Association, has over 60 tournaments, a national championship that brings together, and this is quoting from Wikipedia, 175 teams. And this isn't something that just got created yesterday. And this has a long history. Back in 1971 is when it was founded. And we're talking about colleges from everywhere. Let me list off a few, see if these sound familiar. The University of New Mexico, Florida State University, the University of California, Emporia State University, Fort Hays State University, Dartmouth. Fucking Dartmouth. Really. Everybody takes part in this stupid thing. I interspliced those clips. That wasn't me pulling shit out of my ass. Those were all clips from different CEDA events. I mean, I sit here dumbfounded that the institutions which are supposed to provide higher learning, which are supposed to prepare you for a future profession, that are supposed to give you the knowledge to look at our history and our economy and our society and, to educate you and to make you better people and to more, make you more well-rounded. These are the people promoting this.
That is, he could see that this was a bigger threat than things like pseudoscience and creationism.
Safe Space University, where we pretend that differing opinions simply don't exist. Sign up today and receive your very own set of personalized blinders so your worldview can remain unchallenged no matter where you go.
Yeah, sure, things like creationism are distractions, but fundamentally they don't stop academic work from going forwards. They don't get your Nobel Prize winners fired. Yeah, we created this by basically funding feminists and other social justice warriors at universities and letting them think that the bullshit they came out with was academic. Carbon fiber masculinity, disability, and surfaces of homosociality. Carbon fiber becomes both a surface extension of the self and third-party mediator in homosocial relationships, a surface that facilitates intimacy between men in a way that devalue femininity in both males and female bodies. We did this by letting them leech off the credibility of academia. And this is what it gets us.
This university owes us everything. I walk around this campus understanding that this was built on the backs of my people, and I owe none of you guys anything. We owe white people nothing.
We could maybe talk more about these, but here are some solutions, or possible solutions. On media, television interviews, on platforms and political meetings, at any presentations. If there's no woman speaker, then the event does not take place. The interview is foregone, the political meeting is cancelled. One cannot get around the rule by using a woman as an MC. That's merely window dressing.
You should step down! If that is what you think about being a pastor, you should step down! It is not about creating an intellectual space! It is not! Do you understand that? It's about creating a home here!
Because academia, education, is corrupted and rotten to its core.
So I agree with you that Woodrow Wilson was a racist. I think we need to acknowledge that as a community and be honest about that.
Also, women get to speak first. In classroom discussions, in question periods, and at public events. Men should not be allowed to monopolize these forums.
There's so many things, right? We could brainstorm a million ways that we could create these structural changes. And creating structural change means people have to follow those structures.
I think that I'm doing this right now in my classrooms, in the management department. Women get to speak first. I think that is a primary issue that we actually have to look at, how we do question and answers, and we can start today. Thank you.
There you have it. You see how far the termites have spread and how long and well they've dined.
Woodrow Wilson perpetuated an ideology that has led to the continual genocide of black people in this country. He is a murderer. We owe him nothing.
We are all connected. We are all bound together under the oppression of patriarchy, by capitalism, patriarchy, and white supremacy.
And I don't think that you as a white person understand what it's like to walk past a building or to be studying in a school. I'm not assigning a few other people like this are. To be studying in a school and to have that on your diploma
You lost this one, bro. You lost this one, bro. Back up. You lost this one, bro. You just lost this one, bro. You lost this one, bro. Back up.
Seriously, these people are meant to be the future of the country, and this is how they behave. Led by Melissa Click, so expertly qualified by her thesis on the whiteness of Martha Stewart, and so eminently qualified to be a communications professor.
Feminist frequency videos have been used in middle school, high school, and university classrooms. They've been integrated into the curriculum of media studies, gender studies, and law school programs.
After she was awarded a grant from the Center of Arts and Humanities from the University of Missouri to go to a Twilight conference to study Twilight fans. And on top of this, she's getting paid about $60,000 a year to write about Twilight, Martha Stewart, Lady Gaga, and food and individual responsibility in US reality TV.
We're upset that we're oppressed, that people can call us the N-word and do other things to us or mistreat us in our classrooms and get away with it.
Yeah, nigga. We will not continue to be called niggers on this campus. Believe that.
I'm already in a hostile environment. I already feel like I can't live in this space.
You know, there have been these reports that like black students are afraid to be on campus. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, we're not afraid. Best believe, this is our campus. We pay to be here. We're not afraid at all.
The hunger strike guy is a millionaire. You mad because black people got money. You mad.
Or the black son of a multimillionaire, privileged enough to study at a university, shouting, "We have nothing to lose but our chains."
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
Furthermore, there have been charges made against me that I am racist and sexist to white men. I want to explain why this is false. I, an ethnic minority woman, cannot be racist or sexist towards white men because racism and sexism describe structures of privilege based on race and gender. And therefore, women of color and minority genders cannot be racist or sexist.
My name is Paul Mabry, and I support the CEDA because
the niggas of the niggas, the niggas, authentic nigga, two niggas.
War power should not be used against niggas.
I support the CEDA because they represent what is good about debate and the future of our society.
This is why I make so many videos on feminism and social justice warriors, because why don't you just ignore these morons? Is what got us to where we are now. And yeah, I can perfectly understand why others are reluctant to engage, because the first thing they will do is call you a racist, a sexist, and a bigot.
These attacks on Towson, Oklahoma, and others in our debate community are motivated by racism and fear. These attacks are reprehensible, despicable, and must not be tolerated.
But why are you so hostile about this? It's gross. It's racist.
This is bigotry.
You know, the modern day equivalent of just pointing at someone and shouting witch.
Witch!
And if that doesn't work, they'll try and get you deplatformed.
And then they get disinvited because she's an ex-Muslim and was just speaking her mind, but apparently that's hate speech in this world.
Started this Change.org petition calling to stop Mar from giving the December graduation speech.
Or they will try to write to your employer to get you fired. And this is not some random hypothetical. This is history. This is what happened to me. They wrote letters to my employer telling them that I was a Nazi.
People decide they're going to start a letter writing campaign, or they're going to people en masse are going to contact his employer.
I spoke as an employer and I said effectively he is besmirching their reputation and that they should basically give him the choice of either continuing to do these kinds of videos or continuing to be a scientist.
If you fucking lose your job, that's on you. If I lose my job for deciding to go online and have a message, that's not the person's job or fault that tried to fucking contact my employer. That's your fucking fault.
And honestly, my guess would be currently at about 50% of American universities, ostensibly the heart of academic inquiry in America, they would have succeeded in getting me fired.
On university campuses, the principle of free speech, when I think that the old university I went to, University of California at Berkeley, the free speech movement in the 1960s, what a betrayal we're seeing now. Campuses all over the Western world, all over America and Britain, are denying people the right to come and speak at campuses. If you can't speak your mind on a university campus, where can you?
If people are determined to be offended, if they will climb up on the ladder, balancing it precariously on their own toilet system, to be upset by what they see through the neighbour's bathroom window, there's nothing you can do about that.
And when you're around super sensitive people, you cannot relax and be spontaneous because you've no idea what's going to upset them next. And that's why I've been warned recently, don't go to most university campuses, because the political correctness.
And hell, I hate to think what it would be like for people in jobs where there is no expectation of protection of academic freedom.
I'm an employer. If I had a young man who was doing the shit that Phil Mason is doing, and I mostly hire young men, I'd can him.
I mean, damn, these munchkins got Nobel Prize winners fired. They got university chancellors to step down. Yeah, I can quite happily see why academics might well be justifiably worried about taking on such monsters. Yeah, there are risks to taking on monsters. But fundamentally, if no one does it, it's just going to get worse.